Hey, hey,
Woo! Hey, how's it going?
everything's great.
What a crazy week, huh?
Yeah, it is.
It is. And first of all, I do want to say for all of our friends, I have three biracial children of my own, and just know that we do not stand for injustice. We are with you, trying to stay educated as well. Um, we've got to raise our kids to be color kind. Different isn't scary, and I think it helps if we can raise them like that and just show them that that's what makes up this world. But also, we do need to stand for injustice. And so just know our hearts are with all of our friends and family. So we are with you as well. And it does start at the home,
It
you
does.
know that as well as I do. And it does start at the home, just teaching that love to others.
That's right.
And I also wanted to say things have kind of opened back up here, and we have started. Kaysen is playing softball for the first time this year. I know you've got baseball going on.
Yes.
All that is starting back, and so it's just been crazy, crazy.
So,
Have you
Casey,
been?
did Alexis play in softball, or is she going to be your first softball?
So here's the deal. Alexis decided to play. So Alexis is my 21-year-old. So she
Mhm.
decided to play softball in middle school. And let me just tell you what happened. This is so funny. I'll make it so quick. But that was fast pitch. And so they were giving her the signs like to, steal. So she was up to bat. And it was her first time to ever play, but she just had that like cheerleader personality. So they were like,
Mhm.
okay, we'll let her play in this scrimmage. She's up to bat, Ricky. And the coach gives the person on first the sign to steal. Well, the ball's not even pitched, and Alexis drops her bat and takes off running to first. She thought that sign was for her to just go steal and run to first base. So, needless to say, softball was not her sport. Everybody started busting out. They were like, "What in the world?" So it was crazy. But like I said, hopefully Kaysen will get used to the rules a little bit sooner than Alexis did. But it
Well,
was definitely
does,
fun.
does Antoine, will he be coaching?
He is not the coach. He was more football. Does
Mhm.
Ron coach your boys?
He coaches the girls, actually. He coaches the softball.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he's ready to hang that up, though, because Banks is getting pretty up there in the baseball leagues now. So he's going to start, I think, going that route.
Gotcha. Okay.
But for all we knew, for the longest time, softball was life because, we have the three girls. So
Yes.
now
Oh,
baseball.
I know. Kaysen, head on, honey.
Hey, Kason.
So, also, speaking of Ryan, in
Mhm.
June brings up Father's Day, and
Yeah.
so that makes me so excited about today as well. How our groups kind of changed directions. Instead of having a lady as our guest, we are excited to have Jordan Robinson with us and kind of give us that side of the story, the man side.
Yeah. So when Robbie and I are talking, when we talk about who we want to come on the show, we try to find women who are like in the depths of mom life and just busy, 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 but also trying to run a business. And so we were talking about Father's Day coming up and like maybe getting some ladies on to talk about Father's Day gifts and what we've got planned. And I was like, well, hold up a minute. Why don't we just, change directions here, and let's bring on somebody who I know is an absolutely amazing father, but he's also an absolutely amazing cheerleader for his wife, who is just killing it in her business. And so we reached out to Jordan, and Jordan is here with us today. We're so excited to hear his take on what life is like for his family and his wife, and how the roles and dynamics have changed for him. So super excited to have Jordan on.
Yes, I'm going to bring him on now so we can hear from him.
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, how's it going?
It's great over here.
Good.
Yes,
We're doing
it
good
is
over here
good.
too.
Thank you for being with us today.
Yeah, you bet. I'm happy to be here.
Some people don't know, but of course we already had a few technical difficulties this morning, but hopefully we got them all worked out. It's just the story of our live show. So Jordan, I did want to know, so just tell us a little bit about you. Tell us about your life, your family life, where you're located, things like that. Just let us know about Jordan.
Yeah, sure. So we live in Utah, Lehi, Utah, but I grew up in Idaho, Southeast Idaho, Idaho Falls, Idaho, and I ended up playing high school baseball, and then I ended up playing college and professional baseball. That kind of took me all over the country, and then when I finished playing baseball, I moved up to Spokane, Washington. I have a brother that lives up there, and about, I don't know, a year after being there. I met Natalie. We were introduced from mutual friends, and I thought, she's cute, but she's going to school, down in Utah, BYU, and I'm up here in Spokane, and I'm broke, and I can't be traveling back and forth to chase a girl, and so I'm trying to get my life started and career started after baseball, and then she came back up for the summer, and when I looked at her, I was like, oh man, I got to take her on a date. And date number one, I called my mom the next day and said, Mom, I took my wife on a date last night. And
oh my gosh!
told her mom the exact same thing the next day, and we were married 3 months later, which I'm not sure if I totally
oh wow.
So we have a lot of courtship. We've figured some things out along the way that you probably figure out a little bit more when you're dating, but we'll be married for 17 years in October, and we've got 4 kids, 13, 11, 2 boys, 13, 11, and then 2 girls, 9 and 5. So
wow,
we are right in the thick of being busy parents and running a business, and it's been quite the awesome thing that's happened in our life. So we're excited for it.
That's awesome. Oh my, I did not realize y'all got married so quickly. That's so neat. That's awesome.
Most people don't.
That is wild. Well, Jordan, so tell us, when Natalie approached you and said, hey, I've got this business opportunity, what were you thinking? Because I know you come from like a finance industry. You already were doing that. So what were you thinking when she was like, well, what should I do?
Yeah, so it's kind of a funny story. I was working with a guy that his wife was making a 6-figure income in another clothing company, and I won't say the name, but I when I heard that she was making that kind of money, I was like, man, my wife tried those clothes and she did not like them at all. And I thought, if you make that kind of money selling those clothes that I don't think a lot of people are loving, then that's a pretty cool deal, right? So then I was actually we were at our son's basketball game, and I overheard a couple of moms sitting in front of me talking about Zaya Active. And so, me being the nosy person I am sometimes, I said, hey, what are you talking about? And they told us, or they told me, because Natalie, I think, was out chasing Haley, our, at the time, 2-year-old.
Right.
So I think she was out chasing Haley, and she said, and then when we got in the car, I said, Natalie, I said, you need to do this. I said, if the clothes are half decent, and this thing's just getting rolling, I said, this could potentially be a gold mine. And I said, you need to do this. And she's like, I don't know, because we had done a couple things in the past. Mm-hmm. And so we'd had some direct sales experience, and we know what goes into it. Like, we know that you've got to work at it, and you've got to put in the effort to make things happen. It's not just, hey, let me post a couple pictures and hope somebody buys something, right? It's not how it works. And so a couple days later, she actually saw a gal on Instagram that she follows here locally that signed up to be a rep. And she's like, okay, if she likes the clothes, they have to be half decent. And so Natalie goes, I'm going to order the kit. And I said, okay, great. Order the kit. She got the kit, and she's like, Jordan, these clothes are legit and they're awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. I said, let's go. And so from day one, and honestly, I kind of owe it to the guy that I work with, which I didn't really get along really well with him. So it's kind of funny how this all come to pass, right? But the bottom line is knowing that there's an opportunity out there. When I heard of this, and when she said the clothes are good, I was on board from second number one. So I'm not every husband is like that, and I understand that. And ultimately, I can just tell you that if any husbands need to talk to me about what's possible, I'm more than happy to talk to them, because it's been a game changer for my family. So it's pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah, we've run.
That's awesome. And how has it? Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Robbie. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead, Ricci.
I said we've run across several ladies whose husbands are not very supportive. Of course, mine was he's not unsupportive by any means, but he's always like, what now? What now? What are you getting yourself into now? And for me, it's just like, Brian, I need a hobby. Originally I took this on like as a hobby, and then it just evolved into a business. And so he's seeing the potential behind it. But a lot of women whose husbands are not as supportive, like, they really struggle with this.
Yeah.
They want that outlet.
For sure. And I get it. Like, I can see from a husband's standpoint, right, of not being like totally on board with it. Like I said, I think I had a unique experience that kind of set me up for hearing about this and just knowing, hey, like, there's a lot of opportunity that could happen here, right? To be quite honest with you, though, I was like, man, if my wife could make an extra $2,000-3,000 a month, that'd be super cool, right? Just some spending cash and, you know, travel money, whatever, right? I've always provided for our family, and she's never had to work, and so we've always had, you know, a good life. We're not the richest people on the street. We weren't the brokest people on the street either, but we've always been able to, you know, pay our bills and have a little, you know, but not like travel a bunch and go and do some of the things that we really wanted to go and do. And, you know, we've got 4 kids that are all active in activities and sports. And so I thought, man, if you could just make a couple, $2,000-3,000 a month to kind of supplement, that'd be super cool. And that was just, honestly, that was kind of my mindset from the beginning.
And now it's totally changed. Looking back, like 3 years later, it's totally different, isn't it?
Oh man, it's
a small business now is y'all's main business.
Yeah. So, actually a year ago this month, I pretty much walked away from my full-time job. I still do stuff on the financial side of things part-time, just for people that I love and care about, and friends, and just referrals type of stuff. But I'm definitely not out hustling and you know, building my business the way that I was at one time, because the roles have really reversed in our house, and Natalie's business has just taken off, and she has so many amazing men and women on her team. And so I've really tried to take a different role now, which has taken a little bit of getting used to be quite honest with you. But,
I'm sure.
But it's, you know, I look at it as a total blessing, and just being able to learn to do different things. I mean, I've done more dishes and more laundry over the last year of my life than I did in 16 previous years of marriage, right? And I'm like, man, I was like, being a stay-at-home dad's a little tough sometimes, you know?
Yes.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, today in the life of Jordan before, like when Jordan was working compared to what Jordan does now, like what is it like for you now? Like, what do you do?
Yeah. So I'll help out with anything Natalie needs me to help out with. Like, I'm an administrator on some of her team pages and that kind of stuff. So adding team members and making sure they're on her team, and I'll help answer questions, you know, sometimes if people need some help. And but if she needs something, you know, go take something to the mail or do something there and do something, go pick up, you know, I mean, whatever it is.
Yes,
I just really try to help her. What we've really learned, and I think as your business grows in whatever you're doing, I really know what Natalie's strengths are. And so I know what I need to do to just totally give her the time to focus on the things that she's really good at. The other stuff I can do, or we can hire somebody and pay somebody, you know, to do something for her if we need to. So as things have grown and evolved, I really do as much as I can to just like give her the freedom to be able to do what she does best. And that's taken some time for us to learn kind of what that is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. It's a total adjustment.
How you load the dishwasher. That's what I'd be saying. That's not how I do it.
Yeah. No, she doesn't. She just lets me do it. As long as it gets done, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's key. Too. I'm like, listen, I'm not doing this every time. You guys have some chores to do. So
exactly. We talk about that a lot on here, Robbie and I do, about our kids.
Oh, we do.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And that's like a lot of people, and I'll share this just because I think a lot of people want to know is, how has that worked with our kids, right? Because one of the questions people ask all the time, well, how much time are you spending? Like, how much time are you on your phone, Natalie? And to be quite honest, it varies. Some days I can tell you right now, the last like 5 or 6 days of the month, and usually about the first 3 or 4 days of the next month, she is really busy, like on the phone a lot, right? But some of the time periods in the middle of that, where it's not as busy, you know, she's able to take spend less time doing things. And so we've learned that as a family. We know, okay, on this date's on the calendar, like mom's going to be pretty busy, right? But what we've done is we've included our kids, meaning I've had to sit down with my kids, a handful of times and say, guys, this is what mom's doing, and this is why mom's doing it. And let me tell you what's happening because of mom doing this, right? Because
that's awesome.
One of us or both of us is going to work in life. That's the world we live in nowadays, right?
Yes.
And so one of us is going to miss out on a soccer game or not be able to take a kid to a practice or, and so one of us is going to be doing it. And so we've had to sit down with the kids and really have that. But we've also been, I think, really good at providing rewards for our kids for them being quiet when mom's doing a Facebook Live and, those types of things where we include them on what we do. And so I think our kids feel like they're a part of it, right? When Natalie was trying to rank advance last month, my kids were like, Mom, have you done it? Mom, have you done it? And so we're talking about it and we're it's a family thing. And I think if you do that, at least for us, that has, I think, been a real blessing, is to include our kids on what's happening and why we're doing it and share those goals and what we're trying to accomplish. To me, that's a really important part of moms being busy and doing things, is sharing with your kids, why are we doing this and what's the end goal here that we're trying to shoot for. So
that is true.
It's taken a little while for us to feel like we're kind of in a groove with it. I'm not going to lie. There's been times where I'm like, Natalie, if you don't put your phone down, I'm going to throw it in the garbage.
I was going to ask you that if y'all ever have those talks. I think all of us do in that business. They're like, you're on your phone all the time. I'm like, I promise, I'm just working. But, you're right. You do have to set it down.
Oh, yeah.
And find that balance.
Honestly, she's gotten really good about it. And I think what I've had to do is I just tell her, okay, give me an idea of what you've got going on today, right? And when we look at our calendar and we talk about it, then I think the expectations are set for that day or that week of what's going on, and it just makes things a lot easier. So one big tip is put things on the calendar and communicate really well about what your time looks like. And then if it's not that time, then I tell Natalie, okay, it's time to put it away and let's be a family. And she's been really good about that. I mean, it's still, some days are a struggle, just like anything, but for the most part, she's been pretty dang good about it.
That's awesome. And that is important. And I like the aspect of making it like a family business, making sure everybody's involved and understand what's going on. And congratulations to Natalie, because y'all did hit it, a presidential ranking, which is so exciting. So she did meet that goal and the kids were able to celebrate together. So that's amazing.
Yeah,
definitely amazing. So since you have seen it grow and become like that, what do you think, some advice you may give a spouse that may be leery, like of their partner joining a network marketing company? What's some advice you can give them? Because some people think that, different isn't right as far as this is set up differently. So can it really work? There's just a lot of negative stuff as well, but it can, and y'all have seen the results of that. But from a spouse point of view that may be a little skeptical, what would you kind of give that advice?
So there's a couple things. When people talk about the structure and well, it's the guy at the top that makes all the money. At the end of the day, that is completely false. In fact, if you actually really look at the way corporate America is set up, corporate America is probably the biggest pyramid scheme or network, right? Multi-level. I mean, if I'm a guy that just started it at Adobe's a software company right by our house. My brother works there. Well, I can tell you right now, my brother doesn't make as much money as his boss does, or the guy above him or above him, right? And the odds of him ever doing that, unless he moves up in the chain of command, the odds of him ever doing that is it's not going to happen, So at the end of the day, the corporate America structure, in my opinion, is probably the biggest pyramid scheme out there. Because you're never going to make more money than the person above you. But on the other hand, my wife, up until 3 days ago, has a team member underneath her that she's made more money than Natalie has probably for about the last year, because she's been in a bigger rank. And so to me, this is the most pure form of work and produce. You will make the majority of the income. And that to me is the way that business really should be, is you should be paid for your effort. Now, the other piece of advice is what is the worst that can happen? You spend $295 in our business, right? And to give it an effort to build it. The odds of people losing money and not having this be profitable, you're not going to lose very much money. Not if you're being coached correctly and you're being taught how to build this correctly. I mean, when my wife starts new people, she does not tell them to get inventory. You see a little bit behind me, right? But even Natalie doesn't have a ton of inventory. She's never really carried a whole bunch of inventory. She's got a little bit, but she teaches her gals, don't go out and fork out a bunch of money you can't afford yet. Let your business pay for itself over time. And so if people are taught right, you're not going to lose money. And Natalie said it very well one day. She's like, Jordan, she's like, it's either I look at my phone and make money and build my business, or I look at my phone and scroll through Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and all the things that I'm not making any money from. I'm just wasting my time in my life, right? And so if people can grasp that and realize that, man, you can be productive on your phone, you can do things, then hopefully that helps people, right? To realize I'm either scrolling looking at nonsense, or I'm scrolling trying to prospect somebody and meet somebody new and get somebody to host a party. So at the end of the day, there's 24 hours in a day. How are you going to spend those 24 hours? And if you spend them productively, man, it can change a lot in your life.
Well, and that's true. I guess, like you said, as long as if you put in the work, you're going to see the results of the work. And I guess that's the whole point, is that effort. And, sometimes with corporate America, you're exactly right. They are at the top, and yes, they have worked their way there, but then they're able to just kind of sit at the top. And whereas this is continuous effort and working your business. Yeah.
Well, and the other thing is, I highly respect, and I hope I didn't come across as in corporate America is not a good thing. At the end of the day, I highly respect people that do put in that time and effort and get to those types of positions in corporate America. But the really scary thing is those guys can get fired and let go tomorrow. And so they have no control over what they've done, And so, I mean, I'm just telling you, as a male that has put a lot of time and effort to do what I do and perfect my craft, when somebody else is pulling the strings and determining what my paycheck is based on whether I work there or not, it's an eye opener, right? And so nobody tells Natalie what to do. She's the boss, and at the end of the day, like, she calls the shots, and if she wants to work, she'll work, and if she doesn't, she doesn't. And nobody's going to call Natalie tomorrow and say, your paycheck's going away, so you're fired. And that is another beauty of what we have here.
Yes. Y'all are so
like that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
You are, and y'all work together so well as a team.
Yeah.
So, and since y'all do it as a family, this is going to be kind of different question, just because, we're highlighting the dads as well, but also y'all's family business. So if you were to have a movie, what would you title it, about y'all's family or about y'all's business or even just your life? And who would you want to play you?
I kind of like Matthew McConaughey. He's kind of a funny guy, and he's got a good humor. So I'd probably have him play me. The title of our it'd probably be like, check this circus out or something. I mean, it's a disaster sometimes, but it's organized.
The disaster, that may be it. That could even be mine.
Disaster. Maybe that'll be the name. But yeah, it's a circus sometimes. But we get here in this world. There's no manual. There's no manual for us. We don't. It's not like we read something and go, well, here's what we're supposed to do. We're just all trying to do our best. And I love what you said when we first got on. I mean, just treat people kindly. Just be a nice person, no matter what their background, their skin color, their financial situation. Just be a good person. And treat people the way that you would want to be treated. I mean, it's
exactly
cool, right? Just be a good person. And if you do that, I just believe that you'll be blessed for just being a good person. And Natalie and I have always tried to just be a good person, and treat people right. And I honestly think that's a big key ingredient to Natalie's success, is whether you're frontline or whether you're 12 people deep, somebody that she doesn't even make money off of. my wife will talk to
Right.
you. Like she is always available to help
And
you.
we can attest to that. She
Yeah.
is always, and she will make you feel like you're still her number one, like just as close, her number one, like you want to be best friends with her.
For sure. And that honestly, she's amazing. Like that talent that she has is something I really admire, because it's the real deal. Like what you see from my wife is what you get. Like she's not a different person behind the scenes. You know, she may complain a little bit or whine a little bit sometimes, but that's human nature, right? We all do
Right.
that. But like when you talk about like a golden heart, like Natalie has a golden heart. Like she really will do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
Well, and I believe it says a lot about you too, because it's, you know, nobody can be that bright without the people behind them as well. So kudos to you as well.
I'm hanging on to her coattail. She's definitely the better half in this relationship for sure.
Well, now with Father's Day coming up, you know, the month of June. Happy Father's Day, by the way, coming up.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is one of your favorite Father's Day memories, a gift you've gotten, or something about Father's Day that has always left a mark?
You know, honestly, like I just love being with my kids, you know, and just being as a family. I'm not one that I always have to be entertained or something big's got to happen. I grew up pretty simple, to be quite honest with you. So just being with my wife and my kids and just knowing we're hanging out and having a good time doing something, whether that's barbecuing or, you know, going to a baseball game or the park or something, right? As long as we're doing it together, to me, that's where it's at, you know? So as long as I'm through, we're in good shape, in my opinion.
Do y'all have plans already for this week? That is it 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
2 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We haven't talked about it. We've got going on to talk about that yet.
I know, that's how I was like, I'll face that whenever, a day before it gets here. So.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, we again, we're so thankful that you came on.
I know.
This. Like it has been. You've shared some really good nuggets for some people out there that are on the fence about this business, and so you know, and I love the fact that us moms we're not alone. We have, if you've got a cheerleader like you behind Natalie, like, you know, then you're in the like perfect like storm to just start this and run with it. So anyway, we just appreciate you being on, but we do have some Mama Madness questions, but since you're not our mama today,
all right,
we're going to call out Daddy Madness questions. Okay. So we're going to just shoot some questions at you and you can just answer as quickly as you can. Okay. So are you shy or outgoing? I think we know the answer.
Yeah, very outgoing.
Very outgoing.
Very much a people person.
Yeah. So who would you love to meet, whether dead or alive, and interview?
So my name is Jordan, and I grew up a huge Michael Jordan fan. In fact, the Last Dance that just happened, I mean, honestly, I was like, it was like so nostalgic for me, and I think I've probably bought like 10 pairs of Air Jordans in my life. Because I've been so like, it's just I just love. I'm a shoe guy. I love shoes, but bottom line is I'd love to sit down with Michael Jordan someday. That would be really cool.
Wow. That's a good one, yeah. And The Last Dance was awesome. I loved it. They did a great job with that.
Yeah, and if you ever want to shoot a picture of those Jordans over to my son, he's obsessed. So like he would think you are.
Yeah. I got a few of them.
God, yes. Favorite food?
Probably sushi. We actually went and grabbed sushi to celebrate Nallie's rank advancement yesterday. So sushi is we like sushi in our house.
Yeah. Raw or cooked?
Raw.
Ew.
Oh, I gotta have mine like temporary.
The raw ones are good.
Okay, mountains or the beach? Which do you prefer?
So I live in the mountains, so I see those every day. But man, I sure do love the beach. So if I really had to choose, I'd probably say the beach.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, the last one was who would you get to play in a movie? And we already know that. So.
All right. So I want to say one last thing.
Yeah.
So in my life, the people that I've watched that have been successful, when a husband and a wife are on the same page and they really like are shooting for a common goal together and they talk about it and they dream about it and they really just internalize what that can do for them and their family, to me, it's the most powerful thing in the world when a husband and wife are on the same page doing stuff. So if you're not, work towards that. And I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. But if you're not, do what you can to work towards that. And that may take some compromise. If your husband's not totally on board right now, when he gets home from work, make sure you put your phone away. Work during the day when he's not around, right? And respect that side of things, because I can promise you right now, when you start making some money and he starts seeing some paychecks coming in, the tune will change a little bit.
Yeah.
And so just do everything you can as a husband and wife to learn to be on the same page and have a common goal and common dream, whatever that may be. To me, that is like the most powerful thing you can do as a husband and wife is work together on things. So I will leave you with that.
That is awesome. That's great advice. Thank you, Jordan. And y'all can follow Jordan's wife, Natalie, as well. She is Mama 4 doing more. So definitely check that out also. And Jordan, thank you so much for being on with us today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having me.
Yep. Have a great day.
Bye, Jordan.
All right. Bye.
All right, sis.
All right. So,
yes.
that was awesome. It was so good to hear his point of view and coming from the dad side and kind of seeing how he's had to pick up some roles that all of us busy mamas know as well. So that was awesome. I liked it.
Yes.
That was definitely fun. And I'm excited.
Yes. So what do we got for next week, Robbie?
So next week we have got an owner of a local boutique, just like an online boutique that will be with us. So that'll be fun. She's a busy mama and then raising kids as well. So that should be fun. Also, I did want to say, with Jordan, and he was talking about, just the family being involved. I like that aspect of it, how you can get the whole family involved. And that's kind of like next week. It's a mom and her daughter. So it's really cute. So that should be a lot of fun that are working this boutique together online. So it should be interesting. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Well, so what you got for the rest of the weekend?
So I'm not sure yet. I got to get it all figured out. Kaysen has got her softball practice, which is now taking over our weekend. So we've got that. What about y'all? Baseball?
So yes, one has a baseball tournament, one has softball tournament. So we're going opposite directions.
Oh yeah.
And then Sunday, I'm leaving for the beach.
Yay! Are y'all all going? The whole family?
No. Well, so Reese was supposed to have her senior trip, and so since we kind of had to cancel that, we decided to just take her and her soon-to-be roommate at the college. We're going to take them on just a beach trip. So it's just me and Reese and Lane, the oldest, and then Marley, her sister, and her mom. So we're just going to go and just have a
fun. Well, y'all go and enjoy and relax and get some sun.
Well, I need to get any more, right?
I know.
Everybody's like, what color are you?
I know, you've gotten so tan.
Well, I mean, we just live outside in Mississippi.
I know.
It's just hot. So, okay. So, is that about it for today we got?
I think that's about it. And just remember, everybody, live your best life in leggings.
Drink more wine.
There you go. Thanks for tuning in, y'all. And remember, next week, 11 a.m., we'll be here again.
All right.
And thanks to Jordan and his family and Natalie letting us borrow him for a little bit. So y'all have a good rest of the day and a good weekend.
Okay, bye.
Bye.